Have you watched the movie The Passion of the Christ? If so, I am sure that the scene with the baby staring at Jesus was one of the most frightening for you, wasn't it? But after all, who is that terrifying child with an androgynous face, possessing both masculine and feminine features? Does the Bible mention anything about this demonic being that still piques our curiosity and fear? Did the film's director, Mel Gibson, intend to convey a deeper message to the audience that, 20 years later, still hasn't fully grasped it? In today's video, I will present 3 theories about who that childlike character with a frightening face, carried by Satan in The Passion of the Christ, could be. And at the end, I will also show you which one is the true explanation. And before we start this video, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel and activate the notification bell, because I want to help you understand the Bible in a simple and easy way, okay? Now let's begin. The Passion of the Christ, directed by Mel Gibson and starring actor Jim Caviezel as Jesus of Nazareth, was a box office hit. Released in 2004, the film recreated the final moments of Jesus Christ's life on earth, covering events such as his agony and temptation in Gethsemane, Judas's betrayal, his arrest, trial, and all the suffering leading up to his crucifixion and death. When it hit theaters, The Passion of the Christ received a lot of negative criticism from the specialized media because of its extremely violent and harsh scenes, which were very different from other films about Christ's life, where little suffering and agony were shown during the Passion. In addition to the 4 Gospels in the New Testament, Mel Gibson also drew inspiration from other books about Christ's life to write his film. So it is important to make it clear that not everything we see in the movie is depicted in the Bible, but that doesn't make the production any less shocking and realistic. One example is the opening scene of the film, where Jesus is in Gethsemane praying, and Satan appears to try to distract him. Shortly after, Christ is shown crushing the head of a serpent with his heel, making a reference to the Bible text in Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, where God tells the devil that the seed of the woman will bruise his head, making the first biblical prophecy about the coming of Jesus to earth. Another example is the scene where Judas Iscariot is tormented by demons appearing as children who chase and curse him, calling him damned and cursed forever while spitting on him. Then, the body of a decomposing donkey appears in front of him, with many flies around it. On the animal, there is a rope that the traitorous disciple uses to take his own life. Yet another unique moment in the Passion of the Christ, which is not recorded in any of the 4 Gospels, but which grabs our attention during the crucifixion, is when one of the criminals, after mocking Christ, is pecked in the eye by a crow. There's also the memory of Jesus as a carpenter, building a strangely tall table at the request of a Roman who mocks it. But of all the scenes that are in the movie, and not in the biblical account, the most striking and terrifying is undoubtedly the one with the baby. And before we delve into the meaning of this strange figure, we need to understand why Mel Gibson chose to portray Satan as an androgynous being. The actress chosen for this role was Rosalinda Celentano. Mel Gibson said he decided to give Satan these characteristics in his film because he believes that Satan is real, but not a being with horns and a tail. See what he said. Satan is smarter than that, and presents evil as something seductive and attractive, almost normal, almost good, but not quite. That's what I tried to do with Satan in the movie. The actress's face is symmetrical, beautiful in a way, but not completely. For instance, we shaved her eyebrows and filmed almost in slow motion so she couldn't blink, giving the sense that she isn't normal. We dubbed the voice with a man's groan, even though the actress is a woman. And that's what evil does. It takes something good and distorts it a bit. Brothers, as disturbing as the figure of Satan may be, I confess that I found it incredible how this character was portrayed in the film, because that's exactly how the enemy presents himself to us, as something or someone who seems good and beautiful when, in fact, he is not. And now that we understand all of this, let's talk about the frightening baby. In the scene, Jesus is being scourged by the Roman soldiers, while Satan is shown wandering among the crowd, watching all the violence against the Son of God. At this moment, the devil is holding a small child who looks very sinisterly at Christ. The baby has a disturbing expression that has traumatized many people for a long time. For this scene, Mel Gibson enlisted the work of Italian actor Davide Marotta, who is now almost 60 years old. Although he is not well known in Hollywood, he has participated in other European productions. but undoubtedly, his most memorable role, regardless of screen time, was in the film The Passion of the Christ. Regarding the meaning of this baby's appearance in the film, there are 3 widely discussed theories, and I will present them all to you so that, in the end, I can show you which one is true, according to the film's creator. Remember, brothers, that there is no biblical account of Satan walking among the people with a child in his arms, although we know that his spirit was there all the time, influencing people to condemn and mistreat the Son of God. Now let's get to the theories. First theory: Jesus was abandoned by the Father. Many people believe that Satan, by appearing in the crowd with the baby in his arms, is showing Jesus that even he is capable of taking care of his child, while God, who is a caring and loving Father, abandoned him and allowed him to be assaulted, humiliated, and killed at the hands of men. In other words, the devil would be mocking Christ. This theory is interesting because it makes us reflect on the temptation that Christ suffered from Satan in the desert 3 years earlier. On that occasion, the devil took Christ to a high place and told him to throw himself down because his Father would send angels to save him. Then Jesus responded by quoting a passage from Deuteronomy chapter 6 that says, "You shall not put the Lord your God to the test." Second theory: the presence of the Antichrist. Another hypothesis about the terrifying scene in the Passion of the Christ is that the woman represents death itself, while the baby is the Antichrist, laughing at Jesus' defeat. The mockery is because they think that with the crucifixion, Jesus will be defeated, and they will reign in the world forever. This idea is also very interesting because it makes a connection to baby Jesus in the arms of his mother Mary, with the scary baby representing the Antichrist, imitating the divine story and posing as the savior of humanity. As we know, he will come into the world and pretend to be this being who will promise peace and security in exchange for worship in his name. Additionally, this theory suggests that although the Antichrist has not yet revealed himself to the world, his spirit is already here on earth, wandering around, not only observing everything that happens here, but also acting in people's lives and influencing decisions of leaders who, in the future, will enable his rise to global power. Third theory: Satan distorts God's creation. The last theory about the scene of Satan carrying a demonic baby during Christ's scourging is very different from the first two, and it has to do with Mel Gibson's choice of Satan's physical characteristics. Remember, he said he chose an actress because she had a symmetrical and beautiful profile, but at the same time, shaved her eyebrows to give the sense that she is almost angelic. But something is off? He did the same with the baby. He said the following about it: "Once again, this scene is evil distorting what is good. What could be more tender and beautiful than a mother and child? So Satan takes something beautiful and distorts it. Instead of a normal mother and child, we have an androgynous figure holding a 40-year-old baby with hair on its back. It's rare, impactful, it's too much, just like when the Roman soldiers turned Jesus to scourge his chest. It's impactful, it's too much." In other words, brothers, this is the true message behind the frightening baby scene in The Passion of the Christ. Mel Gibson placed this child in the scene to represent how something good and pure can be twisted and perverted by evil. And that's exactly what the enemy often does with our lives, isn't it? He takes our talents, gifts, and desires that God places in our hearts and makes them bad just to do evil, humiliate us, and distance us from Jesus' presence. Therefore, my brothers, it is very important that we remain vigilant at all times, for as Christ himself said, Satan is like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. But there is nothing to fear because, unlike what the devil wants us to believe, God is not a father who abandons his children, and he will always take care of us in all moments, even the most difficult ones. And if we have him, we have everything we need. Amen? If you like this message, share it with your friends and family and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. May God bless you powerfully.